That's what I'm looking for when I move.
Erwin walks off of the linoleum tile to throw up. He walks onto the carpet. I don't like it. I'm not happy about it. I'm glad that we have a good vacuum. Hello and welcome to YASEcast. This is episode 18 coming at you live from the base of YASE. I'm Lamo. Still. With me today we have a full house. We have with us today Jarv.
Hey, what's going on?
Morgan.
Hi.
Gord.
Hey.
And Velius.
Hi.
And oh my god, what a week. Episode 18. I actually knew what number episode we were recording going into this, which is amazing. But I also wrote it down, so that's kind of cheating. And also Gordon reminded me ahead of time that I had to look up what the episode was. So I didn't make an idiot out of myself. Thank you. Yeah, we all watching each other's backs here.
It's a team sport.
It's a team sport. Life is a team sport.
Yep.
There you go. All right, I gotta start moving on to structure here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep rambling and just start sounding real dumb. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of robots later on in the show today. That's kind of the big theme this episode. M-Bond came out, which I still cannot remember. Gundam Maxi Boost on, right? Is that it? Did I get it right?
Maxi Boost on. Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on.
That's close enough. Listen,
Yeah, close
I
enough.
still look at it and I want to say Monster Blood Online, which that's nothing. That's not a real thing. That's me
only
thinking
the
of.
I'm trying to play Monster Blood online. Hit me up. I'm Jarv #4497. I kind of had like a late registration on that one, but it's super fun. I play a demon archer.
Great.
Yo, I've been playing Monster Bunter online.
Monster Bunter, yeah.
Yeah, Monster
No, hold on.
Bunter.
I have to ask: is that a baseball game with monsters, or is that where you're making monsters bunt cakes, or is it both?
Both?
It's
both.
Oh my god!
It's like a Cooking Mama like downtime mini game.
It's a baseball sim, and then you use your money from baseball to invest into your bakery. I actually love this. I'm
And you
actually
still
into
do it
this.
all in robots.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
You can't just like drop that concept and not have it be a real game.
I know. You looked upset with me when I was like, "Damn."
All right, let me start cracking on it then.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll be back next week with the progress on Monster Bunter.
Yes. Monster Bunter. Oh, I
In
love
the
it.
unofficial sequel, Monster Blunter, 420 every day.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ. So, since we are going to be doing a lot of big robot talk this episode, I wanted to ask all of you, what part of the YASE Voltron are you? Now, it doesn't. You can make up your own part. Honestly, you don't have to fall into like I am the left arm, I am the right arm. What part of the YASE Voltron are you?
I've got an answer.
Okay,
I'm the gun.
you're the gun. Yo.
Okay. Yeah.
So we all
Okay.
got to split
I'm
up.
the-
Damn.
Yeah. I am the gun because when I shoot, I don't miss.
Damn.
You went first, so like now the bar has been set so high. The bar is so high.
It's true. What are we going to do now? What are we
I
going
mean,
to do?
I was just gonna say I'm the feet. I know what I'm about.
He's moving.
I'm both feet.
Oh,
He's moving.
you're both feet?
Both feet.
See, I was thinking like, for me personally, I was thinking like a little smaller scale.
Okay.
I was gonna be like a toe or a finger.
Yo, you can hang out with me. It's cool.
Yeah,
You
just-
can be one toe and one finger.
yeah. I can be a single toe and a single finger. We can be buddies.
We'll hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You're just hanging out.
You do like micromanagement of like fine motor control is what it is.
There you go.
Because like
Yeah,
we got
we'll
to
see.
relate it back to
I do the macro shit.
pneumatics and
I
yeah.
can swing these robot arms and kick these robot feet. Sorry, you're not gonna see that one on webcam. But yeah, for the finer things in life, Gord's got it.
Finer things in life, indeed. I want to be the back. I want to be, the backbone of the team, carry everyone on my back, and also I want to have jetpack boosters because that would be really sick. Have us flying around. I would feel like I'm literally carrying us. You would all be carried by me.
That's such a oh man, it's weird that you didn't go with torso, but it's just the back.
Well, I guess that's really
I
what I
respect
mean.
it.
The
I get what you're
torso.
saying.
I could be the middle too, thick, solid, tight, stout.
Damn. Oh, Vel, what do you got? What part of the YASE Voltron are you?
I'd probably be. I'm gonna make up a part. I'm gonna be the Voltron tonsils. Kind of useless, but you miss them when they're gone.
All right, so we got tonsils, a torso, feet, and a finger and toe, and a gun.
Yeah, that's all you
In
need.
the world?
Wow,
all you need.
the new Rayman reboot looks amazing.
The new robot.
Hell yeah.
Man. Oh hell yeah! I'm down with that.
That's great.
I'm really glad no one said, I'm Voltron's nipples. I was kind of afraid that someone
Why
was
would you
gonna
even
say
put
it.
that in
Well, you
there?
just call. Well, sorry, that's where you are now.
No.
If Jay was on, Jay would be the Voltron nipple. Let's be real.
That's also what I was thinking,
Okay,
but I
yeah,
didn't want to
that's true.
say it. Like I didn't want to.
I'll say it. Let's be real. I'm wearing the Mr. You Suck Says You Suck shirt. Which
That's
the
true.
Podcast can't see. Podcast, not a visual medium, but still.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Rhett is the heart.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we can save the universe now.
All right.
What's
Yeah.
that?
We got nips.
We're
heart,
forming up.
feet.
We got all the important
Yeah.
parts. We got the heart and we got the gun.
we got heart,
the
gun,
back.
and nips. Like that's it.
Yo, those are the 3 stats you can roll in my new indie RPG.
Oh,
Oh boy. Okay. Good lord. We need to move on. Hey, what have y'all been doing this week? We're about to get into weird places with Voltron. We're about to get sued
really
by
back into
whoever
weird
owns the rights
places.
to Voltron.
I can go first. So,
Yeah.
it's been a minute since y'all have heard from me since I've been on the podcast. I stopped going to the gym because, the coronavirus seems like a bad idea to keep going to the gym, even like my little small one that's like, not too many people going there. I'm not trying to risk it with the coronavirus. So
Smart.
I've been trying to buy gym equipment online, and that has been like a legitimate rat race of people getting up at like 9-10 o'clock Eastern on Reddit to go into like a live Reddit thread and just post as soon as they get an alert from like their little refresher stock bot thing for like kettlebells and dumbbells and bumper plates and racks and rigs, and I'm just like, fuck man, the sooner I can get out of this and back to lifting weights, the better. I need to just stop playing around on this because it's terrible. It just feels like every time you if you have like awful consumer brain like me, every time like you miss a deal, it's like, no, lifting was so close and now I have to keep waiting.
And that shit is not cheap either. And I can only
No,
imagine.
some of it is.
I can only imagine there's people who are
definitely
like buying
pretty
it and then
expensive.
reselling too, which is not making
Yes.
anything easier.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Oh.
People are selling things for outrageous prices. I almost put together a set, and I was like, oh, I have the means, and I have the ability to buy this right now, and I could flip it, but I felt pretty bad about doing that. I'm not some sort of, I'm not some sort of capitalist gouger like that. That sounds
Word.
terrible. So I'm not...
yo, scalping sucks.
Yeah, I'm not trying to support that kind of behavior. So I got all my stuff. I've got my bench coming tomorrow or the next day, but I've got these adjustable dumbbells. I've got an adjustable kettlebell. I've got one of these little like suspension TRX trainers. I got a whole bunch of new flooring. I had to go down to I had to travel like 30 miles out of the county to go to like a rural tractor supply company to buy these like rubber horse stall mats for my garage to protect it from the weights and everything.
Damn.
Wild stuff, but I'm just happy to be able to like lift some weights, keep getting healthy, keep trying to shape up and trim down and do it safely in my own home. But now the problem is my garage is too damn hot, so hopefully the next time y'all have me on, or the next time I come on, or just another time that I'm on, I'll explain to y'all how I cooled that down with some sort of home DIY project situation.
Honestly, check out that same like tractor like farm supply store for just like a giant like industrial fan.
Yo, they had like 60-inch drum fans.
Yeah.
They had like 6-foot drum fans. They had
shit.
all sorts of crazy shit.
That
What I want to
shit'll
get is
fucking blow
a
you
thing
away.
that will suck up the hot air out of your garage and pull it up into your attic, and then you have like some little fans installed that will allow outdoor air to come inside, and so that will take out the hot air that's been heated up to like 85, 90 degrees and bring in the air that's outside that is not that hot, along with, you know, the fans going. That should make it a little bit more palatable. But
Yeah.
this isn't a DIY show. I'm not going to get into that.
I mean, it could easily become that. We could very easily just have a DIY week.
I mean, it'd be just DIYASE.
Do it yourself. Oh!
Doing it YASE?
It's
Doing
born.
it Yates.
It's born. It's christened.
All right. Anytime we say this is not some sort of blank show, it's like, okay, actually, it's
it is,
200% that next week.
Yeah, but what if it was?
Yo, I had the perfect thing. I had to install a new garbage disposal the other day. That was some DIY crap. So I'm here. I'm ready to hang. We got it. Doing it, Yase.
Doing it, yes.
Doing it YASE.
Doing it,
Doing it
Yase.
YASE.
Doing it YASE.
I love it.
Keep an eye out for our next podcast in the YASE Pod, I guess, expanded universe.
After our Buffy watchcast, we're
my
going
God.
right to do it yourself.
The Yase Media Universal Century Expanded Universe. Too
Here we
much.
go, baby.
We're coming for the McElroys.
Oh
I mean, I'm a doctor,
Oh.
so like we have the same number of doctors in our like respective
Yeah, sure.
podcast roster. Yeah.
no. Gord, what have you been up to past week?
Mostly the same stuff that I talked about last week. Though I did pick up a game called Synthetic,
Okay.
which is a like a top-down shooter roguelike, similar in style of like Enter the Gungeon or Nuclear Throne.
Hell yeah.
Feels a little slower pace. The guns are generally speaking goofier, and they put more emphasis on like active reload type junk. Just like as a quick thing, for example, there's a sniper rifle in that game that loves the meme of the 360 no scope. You spin your cursor in a 360 degree like circle.
Yeah.
Well, of course it's a circle, whatever. But then you get like 2-second buff to just immediately nuke someone.
Holy crap. That's
So
that's
like,
kind of cool though.
but like it's a game that's like kind of like lots of different buffs and
All right.
good gun feel, and also there's co-op for it too. Like
You said it's called
2-player
Synthetic?
online co-op. Yeah, Synthetic. Ends with a K.
Oh, of
Wow.
course.
Nice.
Yep, of course. It's been pretty fun so far, so if that's a kind of thing that you're interested in, you can check that out.
I actually will. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That sounds
Mm-hmm.
sick.
Velius, what you been doing?
Mbon. That's basically it.
All right.
Because the thing is, I have not played like any version other than like maybe 10 minutes of just Gundam Versus, which is a very different experience. And I actually wanted to learn, especially movement in this game. So I've just been going through all the missions and shit, really trying to nail movement because it's one of the harder things to get in this game for like a newcomer's perspective. Trying to get the boost time perfectly is really fucking hard. So only way to do that is through
Yep.
practice.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like there weren't many versions before that you could get. Like as far as I'm aware, besides Gundam Versus for the PS3 or PS4, that was like a couple years ago.
Yay.
You also had Gundam Extreme versus Full Boost, which was PS3 era.
Yeah, I think you had to like
And
Asian import that or something like that.
yep, you had to import that if I recall, and then there's like some concept of like an online pass type thing that
Oh,
you had to get.
terrible.
I didn't fully
Oh,
understand.
big
But, like,
sad.
Yeah. So like, not exactly like easy to get into before like Gundam Versus, and even then Gundam Versus is a pretty niche release as far as things go.
Yeah. But now we got Maxi Boost. And
Yeah, we got the Maxi Boost.
things are booming.
Yeah, things are moving. Things are schmoving.
They are.
Things are full
So,
boosting.
but before we get,
Mhm.
I have not actually been playing Gundam. I have not been playing Maxi Boost. So, I'm gonna sneak in here real quick. So I've been playing more Kaizo stuff, making progress. Almost at the end of one of the hacks I'm working on for a while, and that's neat. It's whatever. Having a good time. One of the other things though that I've been doing is I've started streaming again, not as much as I used to, which was at one point I was streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but considering we also record on Tuesday, it was too much streaming time. No bueno. So I'm trying to ease back into it, and one of the things that I'm going to do, starting this coming Monday, actually, or the day before this podcast is coming out, I'm going to start doing Movie Game Monday, which I want to play not all, but I'm going to play some shitty licensed games based on movies or cartoons or just whatever franchises.
Ooh, I got a suggestion for you.
Go for it.
The Mummy Returns for PlayStation 2.
Well, I mean, don't really have a PS2 accessible. I could probably download it, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, you don't want to. Don't.
Yeah,
just,
I don't want to.
Just
I mean, so
right,
right
you said
now
shitty
I'm
movie
just
game, so I'm
sticking-
telling you one.
Right now, I'm just sticking with NES and Super Nintendo, and I have so much garbage on there already to deal with.
True, a lot of garbage.
Oh god, like all the Simpsons games, all the Star Wars games on Super Nintendo that I'm not going to enjoy playing.
NES Home Alone.
NES, yeah. So here's the thing: NES has Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Super Nintendo also has Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. So that just, why not? Why not double up on that?
They just cranked it out on another system like years after, just like fucking do it again.
They be cranking.
The
I don't know
kids
what
love
they
it.
say.
Cranking.
They love fucking up Joe Pesci.
America's
The
national
kids said we
pastime,
wanna
fucking Joe
fuck
Pesci.
up digital Joe Pesci in New York City
I
this
wanna
time.
fuck up Joe Pesci. The kids are angry. The bloodlust
Let
of
us
Joe Pesci.
Let us do it in New York City on the Super Famicom, please.
Please. So there's an NES game for Rollerball too, which I did not realize.
What?
Yeah, like first of all, Rollerball is kind of a wild movie to begin with, because it's like, yeah, in the future there's this sport where it's like roller derby, but there's a ball, and also it's incredibly violent and people die all the time. So yeah, that'll be a thing. Yonoid is on here. That's on my list. What? Let me look at my Super Nintendo list really quick to see what else is on here. Pull out some gems, quote unquote gems. The Beavis and Butthead Super Nintendo game. That's not very good. That's not good at all.
Do you have the Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City?
I do have
game?
that. I was trying to exclude sports games because I feel like there's nothing special about most sports games other than.
That's not a sports game.
Oh, that's right.
That's not a sports game.
That's a list. There we go.
What about the Itchy and Scratchy Show game?
Oh yeah, that's on my list already.
Yeah, for sure.
As well as
That
all the
one
Simpsons
was
games, which I'm not
kinda
looking
fun.
forward to playing.
What? You don't like the Itchy and Scratchy game?
So I haven't played that one, but I have played other Simpsons games on like the NES, and they're not.
Oh,
very
like
fun.
Bart's Nightmare, some
Yeah,
crap like
and,
that.
and
Yeah,
the Space Alien
I-
one.
I'm pretty sure I rented one of those, and it was a bad call.
Yeah, I gotta play Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday.
No, but can I pass for you?
So here's the plan though. So I have all these games, and obviously it's a ton of fucking games. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to spend at least 15 minutes on one of them. Pick a random one, do like a spin the wheel or a random list, whatever the hell. From there, it's spend at least 15 minutes playing it. If I hate it, skip to something else. If I want to continue playing it, then I continue playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is I
call.
want to at least give these games 15 minutes of my time. So
It's probably
Fair.
15 more minutes than some of those games deserve, man.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I played I moved
but
everything
do
over.
it for the stream.
I moved everything over. I was playing a little bit of stuff. I played Terminator 2 on Super Nintendo. That game's real bad. That game's real bad. Okay. Do you remember in like the Peanuts cartoons and movie, there was like the one kid who danced and he was like looking down and had like his shoulders and he was just like fucking doing a weird dance.
Yes. Now that I
you
don't
know
know if
what
the
I'm
audience
talking
at home
about.
can listen to that and find out, but yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's how Terminator jumps. He looks like that dude. He's like hunches his shoulders up, looks down, just like, and that's it. That's how he jumps. That's how this futuristic death machine moves throughout the landscape. That's it. That's the noise that I imagine he makes. That's not the noise that you hear in game, but that's what I hear in my head. So yeah, look forward to that on Monday, I guess.
Yeah,
It'll be a good time.
your pain and suffering will be our enjoyment.
It'll be a time. It'll certainly be a time. That much I can guarantee.
Times will be had.
It certainly will. Morgan, let's close this out. What have you been doing? What have you been up to?
What have I been doing? I've been getting deeper because it's a bottomless pit into VTuber hell. Because it's just like, and part of that has consisted of me streaming Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Boost on Twitch.com. Twitch.tv. That's the address. That's most of what I've been doing, actually.
You're so
I'm only a
close.
semi-professional.
You got MBON right, and then you did Twitch.com.
I spent all my attention on I gotta get the name of the game right, and then I'm like Twitch.com, which don't put Twitch.com into a search bar because I'm sure it's a scam website.
I'm sure it's bad.
Morgan, plug it. Plug your Twitch.
Oh yeah, on Twitch.tv/vog_e. That's where I play the game, which is a good game, and I think a lot of us have been talking or have been interested, have been playing it, talking about it, or interested in it. So I think that's going to be a very natural segue into the meat of this episode, or what we plan to be the meat of this episode. We're talking about Gundam.
Talk about that.
It's good.
Gundam. Also, I wanted to get out there, Twitch TV, it's.com. Because anytime I'm going to make that Homestar reference, my heart grows just a little bit. So,
all right.
Gundam. I admittedly have not been playing a lot of Gundam, as I mentioned during my check-in. But I know y'all been about them mobile suits.
I've learned a lot. I've learned that war is bad.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing I've taken away from this game. War is bad, but the robots are cool. And the game is about the robots, so it's like there's no guilt.
All right.
Yeah.
There's no guilt.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. You
okay.
can enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fine. So I know all of us are different levels of newcomers, except for Gord, who you at least have been playing pretty, I don't want to say heavily, but like you've played Gundam Versus in tournaments. You've actually won Gundam Versus tournaments. I think at Michigan. No, what? Sorry, I don't think you won. Sorry, sorry, I didn't mean to rub that in. But I know that you've entered Gundam Versus events. I know that you're more than well acquainted with the series.
Yeah. I've been playing Gundam Versus since that game dropped. Boy, I think that was like 2017 when was the year that game dropped.
I believe it was.
Just playing in a basement at the Weeb Fort with Gage and crew. Just living it up every Friday. Just bringing 4 consoles, 4 monitors, 5 Ethernet cables, because that version didn't have a LAN mode, and they all had to be online.
Oh no.
What?
So I also had to bring a network switch to connect them all, and so we could play together in a basement.
Jesus Christ. So does MBON have a LAN mode, by the way?
It does.
That's awesome.
That is so tight.
Yeah, it's got a LAN mode.
Y'all, the YASEcast
perfect timing.
is gonna have LAN mode.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah. When we shuffle all those consoles in there and being like, Gundam. But yeah, been playing that game quite a bit.
All right.
I did enter a few tournaments. Best I've gotten was Michigan Masters 2 years ago, I think. And which was I got second place, which, to be fair, we did beat the first place team round 1. So they had to climb all the way from losers.
Oh, damn.
But then they got us
Damn.
in finals.
Damn rip.
So
I respect it.
It really do be like that. But we made them
I was
work.
gonna say that is a story that unfortunately you are not the protagonist of, but you've made a very good story for the team that won.
Hey, look. Sometimes you have to accept
Yeah.
that you are not the protagonist. Sometimes we are not Smiles. Sometimes we are not Pekka.
Exactly.
We just have to accept that.
Also,
And sometimes we just have to find our own
don't trust
way
anyone who
in
says
life.
they're Pekko. Don't trust those people.
Don't.
No,
Nope.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, watch Ping Pong. Ping Pong is good as hell.
definitely
Yep.
watch ping pong.
Ping Pong the animation. Very good anime.
Jay, if you're listening to this,
Best-
watch Ping Pong already. Just watch it. We've had to tell you so many times, Jay. This is an intervention just for Jay.
This is the public call out. It's the real reason for this podcast. All right, but anyway, so I think I also picked up Gundam around Versus, but I didn't play it as often. I didn't really have people around me. So this has been like a really exciting time for me, where it's like my understanding is that Versus was kind of an experimental offshoot of the mainline
Yep.
series, and this is more of a return to form for it. So the boost dive stuff and a lot of the things that I didn't really like about Versus, even though I didn't have much background to compare to, like I didn't like the universal assists, I didn't like the importance of step dives and everything. This is a much simpler game for me to get my head around, but what I'm really loving about it is that it is definitely a game that benefits from having like fighting game fundamentals, but it has a much lower execution barrier on stuff. So it's not like you're like obsessing over one frame links. So it's less about the mechanical difficulty and more about how you apply things. And also because it's a 2v2 versus game, it's how do you apply things as the game flow is moving from maybe a 1v1 situation to a 2v2 situation to 2v1s. And so it's really interesting and like how it's making me reconsider things that I maybe have taken for granted, or maybe like didn't fully understand in fighting games, but like wouldn't have realized it unless I had to think about it in this different way. So the game has footsies. The robots got feet.
Mad foozies.
They
Robot got mad
Sometimes
foots.
Yo,
they got more than 2
they're
feet.
a giant robot, and they got
Or they got no
feet?
feet sometimes.
And let's hear what is it, Xenon, and you got no feet. No
Yeah,
footsies.
Xeon, you got no feet.
No feet.
Or you play Dog Gundam.
You got 4 feet.
Got 4
You got-
feet.
You got 4 feet.
4 feet. More footsies. That's why I'm so good at Gaia Gundam.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The most sapphic of Gundams, according to me.
But yeah, to kind of bring it back a little bit about how like Gundam Versus is like kind of like experimental offshoot of the original, like the quote unquote original line that Max Boost On is based off of. Like, for most part, the Extreme Versus series has been on arcade for quite a long time. I remember going to convention and playing a much older version of like, it's like Gundam versus Next or something. Very like old version. Movement options are not quite there, but you can see like the beginnings of like what the game came to be. Versus like Gundam Versus was a PS4 only release, did not have arcade release. It was like the first foray of like the series kind of like being on console again. I think there was like some like PS2 versions of like early Gundam Versus versions that are kind of chunky to play. But with Versus specifically, like the two big things that were mentioned before was the universal assists and the step dives,
Yeah.
which normally, like, I guess we should probably talk about movement before we talk about step dives
Yeah.
first.
Probably.
Why
So-
don't we,
There-
how about we...
There is
Go
one
ahead.
thing I wanted to pick up on first that you mentioned. You mentioned it was one of the games that you kind of see at conventions and things like that, and so I kind of wanted to bring this round table. But were you the person at conventions? You were like, oh shit, they have this arcade cabinet. This is my game. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna fuck people up.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
like, that was me at Youmacon and MagFest. Like Youmacon last year, MagFest very early this year, and like for Youmacon, a bunch of the boys got together and just when we could, we just sat on the cabs, and we actually had all 8 of the boys on all 8 of the cabs just mashing together.
I love it.
It was a sight to behold.
That rules.
Powerful.
And MagFest, I definitely about 50% of my time there was actually on the Gundam cabs, just playing, making Kongors pretty sad, running streaks on them, and then I got sad when people that played the game for a long time sat on the cabs,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Hey, good job, guys," and they're like, "Thumbs up," and then went back to playing. And I was like, "Damn, it'd be like that." Oh, I was a rando all along. Ooh, bones.
It sprayed me with bone hurt and juice.
Yeah, I'd be
I
hurting.
hear you. Do any of y'all have like your convention games where if you saw there was a setup, whether arcade or console, for a game, you're like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna show that I'm fucking nice.
That's me in Third Strike until someone sits down that knows how to play Third Strike.
Right on.
I do that
Because
in
like you think
ST.
you're nice. I play Denjin Ryu. Like, yeah, I will streak this cabinet until the Urian player that knows how to do unblockable sits down, and then it's not fun.
That's not fun. It's a bad time. You're like, I'm charging my dungeon. They're like, that's cool. Aegis Reflector.
Yeah, woof. It's like, oh no, you know how to play the game.
Jarv, what was your answer?
Oh, I play a little bit of ST, and I just kind of do like neck kicks and crap with DJ until someone who like actually knows anything is like, "Nah, I'm not gonna let that fly." I'm like, "All right, GG's, I'm out.
I'm out later.
I gotta think now. Goodbye."
I will see you later. I'm gonna go play Dungeon Ryu,
And just cycle, keep going back and forth.
the official character of YASE is Dungeon Ryu.
Oh yeah.
Velius, what about you? Do you have the convention game that when you see it, you're like, I need to go sit down there and fuck some people up, or just show off? I guess showing off is also kind of a
Absolutely
factor
not.
there.
I really
No?
don't have any particular game.
Dang. Okay. For me, it kind of started this way, but now it's like absolutely this. It's poppin' music, because usually if I go to cons, it's like there's a poppin' music tab there, and it's like people are doing 5 buttons, doing really easy songs, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm gonna do 9-button mode and do something that's probably not very impressive, but I'm gonna just play it fast and with a lot of enthusiasm, and that's what I will do. And then if there's an ST cab, yes, it's ST all the time, and I will Oicho throw you into the corner over and over while your boys watch, and then you're gonna get real sad in front of your boys, and I'm gonna laugh at you. All right, I maybe won't laugh, but anyway,
Don't laugh at the convention. We're
Don't-
here to
don't
have
laugh
fun.
we're here to have fun.
Don't
All right.
laugh at them.
But deep inside.
Deep inside,
But, like
I'm
maybe a little bit.
I'm gonna give him a
yeah, a little.
I'm gonna have a look going on. Yeah. All right, so
that's good.
let's move back into Mbon a little bit though. We were starting to talk about movement and getting into a little bit of terminology. Morgan, I believe you brought up step dives. Is that what it was?
Step dives are not in Mbon.
Okay, fuck step dives.
It was
All my homies hate step
fuck,
dives.
fuck step dives.
Yeah. Fucking
Actually,
step
yes.
dives.
Though all my homies do hate step dives.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
So
Gundam versus I do not know her.
I do not know her. I do not know her or her steps. So why is movement so key in Mbon? And obviously in any kind of fighting game, movement is very important. It ties into your spacing. It ties into how you're going to make your decisions. But obviously Mbon, you have a much wider playfield to work with. There are boost mechanics. There are meters and gauges all over the place.
Oh, there's a third dimension.
There's a third dimension.
Yep.
Compared to like, you know,
In 3D.
I mean,
Tekken.
yeah. Now if you're playing Tekken and stuff like that, there's always been 3D. But like we were just talking a bunch of 2D fighters, so I had 2D on the mind. But yeah, like
Always got
the
2D
amount
on
of
the
space that you have to occupy, it seems like movement is like at its core like most essential to the game. You know,
Yeah.
I want to take a crack at this question, and Gordlord, maybe
Go ahead.
you can correct me because I want to also like test my own knowledge here.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
A big part of it is movement is just kind of connected to everything. So in the game, the main resource that you're really trying to manage is your boost meter. So it's kind of an ABC game. A is shoot, B is melee, C is boost. If you double tap it, you shoot forward. You can use it to avoid shots, to dodge lasers, to gain elevation in that third dimension. But it also has offensive utility. So you can use your boost meter to connect chains of melee attacks together. So I can do like 2 slashes with a sword, and then I sidestep, and that lets me connect to another chain. Or one of the most essential pieces of the game is like I got my beam rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I can cancel my shot with a boost, which then lets me connect another shot. And that's sort of the basic combo of like shoot, boost, boost. So the kind of the core of like why is movement so important? It's that you have limited boost, and if you overheat and as you use it, you are forced to land. And depending on how little you had when you landed, you're vulnerable in that moment. So a big part of the game is managing your own boost, but also being able to move effectively to kind of pressure your opponents to force them to spend it so that when they ultimately land, you can capitalize on it. And that's really a huge part of what the game is about. It's like, I have this resource that's connected to movement. I want to be really efficient with it while trying to use my positioning to press my opponents to spend their resources so that when they land, I hit them with the pew-pew laser and they explode.
Yep.
Or, TLDR, I'm schmovin'. I'm schmoving right now.
You do be schmovin'.
You can't hit me while I'm schmoving.
Really
They
do
can't
be
hit you when
schmovin'.
you're schmoving, but you can only schmoove so long, so you gotta schmoove efficiently.
Schmfish. No.
Fish.
How
Yeah,
is that, Gordon?
It's pretty good.
So is that kind of the very basic beginner gist of it? Is like it's real. Your movement is really tied into how well you can manage that boost meter. Is that a fairly accurate statement?
It's definitely very accurate because like it's kind of like your movement is like the neutral of the game,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Because like if you think of like you're like boosting around, you're shooting, and then you land, your recovery gets bigger. It's kind of like the more you're doing, the more you're like whiffing stuff, the more it's going to cost and your recovery. So people are going to like quote unquote like they're going to landing punish you, but it's kind of like a whiff punish.
Okay.
Like if you didn't actually hit. So you're like, just like, oh, I'm shooting. Oh, I've used up all my boosts. I'm stuck on the ground. I'm getting lit up. Lord help me, friend. Please save me. It's kind of like neutral of like being able to like move around stuff because like for the most part, a lot of the attacks in the game, like the majority of the attacks are just like linear like projectile attacks that are aimed directly at you, and like how much they track is like variant based on like the specific thing.
Okay.
But generally speaking, the way you move, like how you're moving is like how you're going to like not get hit by it. Because obviously if you're staying still, you're going to get shot. Don't stand still.
So that
It's never good to get shot.
kind of makes me want to ask, like, how. I know there is blocking in the game. It's kind of a weird input, in my opinion. You have to do like down then up, or back then forward, however you want to word it. How good or effective is blocking? Is that something that should only kind of be used as a last resort?
That's a hard question because it's one that I haven't like technically fully answered myself yet.
Okay.
But blocking, it can net you a lot because sometimes you can like block while you're like, let's say you're about to like land and you're like in red boost. Because one thing to know about this game is that there's like 4 levels. Essentially like 4 levels of like boost usage, and like those 4 levels determines like how long you're going to be stuck on the ground for. And also blocking is also tied to your boost gauge. So when you're blocking, it also uses boost
Jesus
gauge.
Christ.
Yeah, like
Huh.
holding the block.
Yeah.
Damn. So you really can't even like
Yep.
turtle up to get your boost back.
Yeah, like turtling is like you're really like the concept of turtling isn't like for most like fighting games like smart blocking
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Your smart like defensive thing is you focus only on moving. You're not even shooting back. You're just letting people focus you on like focus in on you and like shooting at you, but you're just moving along, blocking the stuff that like might come at you when you can. But like blocking does have its uses. Like for example, if someone's shooting a giant laser at you, for people that are listening, if you ever hear the term Garobi, that's the big laser. You can block the big laser, and one thing that if I recall it, how it works in this game is that if you block, you gain boost back. You gain like a little bit of boost back also.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
So it's like blocking is a complex subject more than like most fighting games tend to be even used.
Okay. Damn.
So this is like I guess a side comment, but I recently found out why Garobis are called Garobis, and it is the funniest shit to me.
Please tell me, because I am so curious and I have no clue what the hell it
So-
would mean.
It's a Japanese like compound noun. So Gero is vomit and Bimu is beam. So it's literally beam vomit.
Yep.
Like giant mouth laser kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally beam vomit, and they just like the Bimu is shortened to B, so it's Gero B.
Yep.
I picked
It's
up
really-
on B, but I had no idea what the hell girl
Yeah,
was. I never would have
it's
guessed
beam
that.
vomit.
It's incredible.
Yep. Now you know when you see that big beam, you're like,
I mean,
Bleh.
they already
Definitely
have
gotta do
like
that with Gunner Zach.
could have gone with like Danmaku for like bullet hell or something like that. Okay, fuck it.
No,
No.
it's Gero B. Don't,
No.
even, don't even fuck with
Okay.
it. It's unfuckwittable using the term from the last podcast.
it's too late now. You have to go back in time
Oh no.
to fix that.
Anyway, you said a couple of questions, and I think that's like,
Mhm.
do you guys want to kind of go through those? Because I feel like it's very easy to fall down the rabbit hole with this game.
Yeah.
It's so complex.
There's so much stuff with
Like,
movement.
there's even just like movement. It could be like a whole podcast of, and then there's a sequel podcast, the After Dark one on schmovement.
Ooh.
Yes. Ooh.
So, Lema, I have here that you would like to know what the hell is a FUA step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I see that
I-
term floating around in some guides and like in chat, and I'm like, I have no clue what the fuck FUA is. What
It's
is it?
FUA.
Why
FUA.
do I want to? Is there a FUA 2-step that I can do?
There's a Fua time if you're a fan of chaos. Like I
Yeah.
am.
So there's a Full 2 step, as it turns out. Got
No,
him.
I can go to the hardcore show and I can FUA 2-step.
Well, that would be pretty sick if you could do that.
Right?
Can
Think
I
of your life just like float into the air.
Can
Yeah,
I
bring
take a
in-
crack at this one? Is a
bring in my
FUA
Gundam
step
VFW
like
show.
mechanically? I think mechanically it's a step into like the jump, and you just kind of do like a tiny hop after a step, and it's like a mostly like a
Yep.
defensive movement tool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a Fua step. Because Fua is like fluttering, so it's like a very light, airy motion. Like, woo!
Yeah, it's just this
Yep.
tiny like you step, so that helps cut anyone who has like a red lock on you who might be trying to shoot a projectile at you. Helps you get out of the way, and then you do a little jump too, so it gives you a little bit of elevation. Kind of maybe you can like switch directions a couple times, check out what's going on, and generally, I think step uses a little bit more boost than boost dashing, but that seems like still like a decent usage of boost if you've already landed. It seems like as soon as you land, you gain all your boost back, assuming so as soon as you touch the ground.
You like that's where the landing recovery
Yeah,
comes from.
landing
the moment
recovery.
you do that.
Yeah, aside.
Yeah.
That's still you get it back.
So a few things. For one, we didn't actually talk about what stepping actually does, which is the thing about projectiles in this game is that they track onto you, and boost dashing, projectiles will still follow you while you're boost dashing around. But if you step it, the tracking gets cut and they just go past you. If you're just stepping through, you're like, beam rifle, you missed me, baby. You can't get me now. Ha ha. So, with the basic is you combine boosting and stepping. You can just start moving around the field and like just dodging projectiles.
See, my problem is I do that and it's super fun, and then I'm like, why am I falling to the ground all of a sudden? Oh, I've overheated. So
it's definitely
the
like
risk reward.
getting used to like how much
can I go
like,
in
moving around. Yep.
Turns out like not all that much.
So for stepping specifically, it's like stepping only goes like in a horizontal angle. Like you just like stay pretty like flat to the ground. Like this Fua step gives you some amount of verticality to help also dodge more things essentially, because like at a certain point like you need to learn how to learning like the horizontal movement is very important, and then you start needing to be able to add like vertical movement into your movement game, because like some things will block your horizontal movement specifically, so you have to start going upward.
Jesus.
Like one example is that there's like the concept of fences, where it's literally like lasers that like go all the way across the screen or something, and they, generally speaking, they'll target like to you. They generally speaking won't actually touch you.
Huh.
But if you keep going horizontal, you'll run into the fence.
Okay. So the idea there is really it's less to hit you, but more just try and pin you down into or kind of make you forced to move in a direction, at which point their teammate's probably gonna come in and bop you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a way to. It's kind of like in like the more traditional fighting games when someone like drops a projectile, like projectile traps.
Yeah. The fireball isn't
you
there to
set
hit
a fireball
you.
and
They
it,
don't
like,
care if the
stops.
fireball hits you. The fireball is to make you do something stupid, which they can get a lot more damage out of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Kshatriya.
So. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that about covers it for the Fua step. The Fua, just to like bring that back a little bit, is like when you do like when you're about to land, you boost hop again just a little bit, so you don't just like land straight on the ground.
Okay.
You're like, oh, I'm about to land. Oh, I hopped a little bit,
Yeah.
and then I landed.
And so
on the
that
ground.
makes
like a
your
mix-up.
And that's just like the trick.
landing recovery shorter.
No, it just delays when you actually land.
okay.
It's more of a mix-up.
And that
tool.
might,
Okay.
yeah, it's like more mix up, like preventing you from actually getting hit.
It's like getting them like, oh, they're coming in to commit to punish your landing.
Then-
You're like, psych!
Yeah.
I wasn't landing.
you dumb idiot. I hate the ground.
you was
I hate the
nice?
ground so much.
Very nice. Stupid.
Stupid ass
That's
Earth.
like, oh,
I
that's
hate
so much. So yeah, Fua step it's a good and simple and very widely applicable defensive tool.
Right on.
And that kind of comes back
Yep.
to like, why is movement important?
Yeah.
Because it is your offense, it is your defense. Like you the biggest way of attacking, and probably most efficient way of attacking in this game, is not to shoot the gun, but it's to move into positions where your opponent thinks you are going to shoot the gun, which forces them to move without you committing anything.
Yep. And it's really important to note too that this is a 2v2 game. You have to worry about two positions.
It's really easy, as someone who really has not a lot of experience with the game, it's very easy to go into a match and get tunnel vision on what is this one person doing. And like it's so obvious that you're playing a 2-on-2, but it's so easy to get so caught up on worrying about one player, and then it's just like, oh hey, Burning Gundam is behind me and he's glowing yellow. I'm about to get just fucking destroyed. That is absolutely one of the fucking things that I have a hard time with right now. But that's
feel you
another
there.
that's a different question, I guess. So I want to move on. We've talked about movement, obviously. We talked a bit about the basics. I kind of want to open this up to everybody, but what suits are you playing right now? Who are your so far mains in Mbon?
I'm a fan of dogs.
You do like the
There's,
dogs.
I do like dogs. There's two suits in particular that I play pretty regularly. One is, I'm going to mispronounce it because I haven't watched Gundam Seed, but Lagao, which is a ground runner suit. It is a dog, and basically it's in the lowest rung of cost. So it's very linear. It doesn't have many tools, but it basically runs around, has basically unlimited boost because like there's a class of suits called ground runners that rather than flying, they run on the ground, and to compensate for not really having the ability to gain a lot of height, they have a lot of boost. And so Lago just runs around, and it calls other dogs, and it shoots people. And the floor is basically lava around it.
Shit, that sounds
And
pretty
it's hilarious.
cool. I'm gonna have
It's
to
so
give that a
much
shot.
fun.
I didn't even know runners were a thing in the game. That
They're
sounds
really
awesome.
fun.
With the game that has like literally at least 100 suits,
So many suits.
there's lots of flavors.
There's like
There's a
180
lot.
something suits.
They've even got the Michigan Special, the Superman. There's a suit that literally like flies at you and hits you with the suit, and just like Superman punches you.
Damn.
Yeah.
I respect it.
My
God.
my number one favorite though is Gaia Gundam, which turns into the dog mode, but also has like the
Whoa,
more
sick.
traditional mobile suit mode, and its whole gimmick is based around shifting between them because it like lunges forward when it shifts.
Yo.
So there's a lot of ways of like getting really boost efficient movement and like doing stuff to like it's a very intricate suit and how that all works, and it also gets the fun of being a dog and having maybe I know because I haven't watched Seed, the funniest pilot because all the pilot does is talk about how she doesn't want to fight and how she wants to go home.
Oh man.
That-
That sounds like a very good
That's an
pilot.
Eternal Gundam mood.
Yeah,
like, I wanna
that's.
go
Can we
home.
stop fighting?
I hate the Forever
Can we
War.
stop fighting?
I would like
Yeah,
to go
basically.
home from the Forever War, please.
I would like to get off Mr. Forever War's wild ride.
Hey, as an
So that's-
aside, real quick, I started watching Mobile Suit Gundam 1. Is that where the whole like my dad built the robot thing came from? Is that like a trope from Neon Genesis, but it's really actually from original Gundam? Like, what is up with like my dad building my big new mech body thing? That's probably its own college course.
It definitely is. But I think that goes back to even like earlier Super Robot stuff before
It's-
Gundam.
In this case, I think it's earlier. Because like I think
Oh, it's probably like
Like,
Astro Boy.
one
and
of the
stuff,
granddads
too.
of Gundam.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Astro
Yeah,
Boy,
probably
Gundam.
Astro Boy. Really, in terms of like true mecha series is probably like the earliest I could probably think it was like Mudsinger Z. I think that was the case, and that's like one of the granddads. But like in terms of like the quote unquote like giant robot classics, like that's like one of the like big three as far as I'm aware.
Very cool.
Like the other two being like Getter, Robo, and also Gundam. So, but yeah, turns out don't let your dad build the robot.
Nothing good ever comes of it.
Parents,
No.
Parents,
stop building robots. War is
stop
bad.
your robot building immediately and hug your children tight.
Don't build a robot if you got kids.
Anyways, so the robots I've been playing and killing people with,
Yeah.
I've been playing
Where's
Gunner
that?
Zaku from I guess See Destiny. I don't know. I've
Yep,
only
See
seen
Destiny.
I've only seen Wing and like 2 episodes of MSG 0079. She seems cool. She's a Cable. Like she has like grenades.
Yeah.
She's Garobi. She has a one-shot down beam rifle. She's got her own Garobi. She's got hyper viper beam that she pulls out. Like,
Damn.
she really is Cable.
That sounds
She's real
dope.
fun.
I never thought about her being Cable, and holy shit, you're right.
She's just
Yeah.
like a back
Like,
cable.
people literally describe her.
2,000 cost cable, and just like I'll just pin you down with all my crap, and also has Tomahawk.
That'll be fun.
That suit is literally like does like maybe 4 things. But, yo, you like friends? That suit got all the friends.
Yeah.
Come
When
on,
she
buddy.
wins, she got
Get
all
him.
the homies. She's like, I earned this uniform with all my boys.
Yo, that robot. All the homies hate that robot. Get him.
I've also been playing a little bit. Speaking of grandpas and Gundams, I've been playing a little bit of the Grandpa Gundam. I'm playing Amuro Ray in the original RX-78 too, and the homie will make you play the game correctly. I was playing Barbados a little bit, and you really just abusing that AC like command dash, and I'm like, okay, that's throwing a trident or something. That is not moving me with Grandpa Gundam. I have to learn how to play this game now. So a couple hours of Grandpa Gundam, and now I'm like, okay, I can do like A charge shot. I can do A boost dash A boost dash A. I'm starting to do some things. So if you really want to like start in from ground zero and you really have like no allegiance to anyone in the series, try the Grandpa Gundam.
I will actually give that a
Grandpa's
shot.
very good.
The OG.
The OG.
Like,
He's really fun.
Actually, the Ryu.
Like, yeah, honestly, actually very fun too.
got him right
Because
here.
he has a couple little assists that are just like, hey, if it's 1v1, now it's 2v1, and I'm gonna throw this thing that's gonna stun you on hit too and boost dash it. So what's up? What's up? I got like 3 people on deck.
What's really
I got
good?
my own assist, plus I'm calling some hidden missiles or something. He's having a lot of fun.
Call the gun
Yeah.
cannon. He gonna grab you.
I'm gonna have to fuck with RX-78. Velius, what about you?
So I play 3 depending on my mood, and I picked new Gundam with another. It's another Amuro Ray suit. Very good all-around suit. Has tools for basically everything. That's the 3K suit when I want to play front. And then
Okay.
I also play either X1 or X2 custom. Just because I fucking like the pirate aesthetic, honest. If I'm being completely honest, because I don't even much care for the series that they come from that much. But you give me a cool pirate cloak, and I'll probably play it at least a little bit. And then,
Oh, is that Crossbone or someone?
yeah,
Yeah, that's Crossbow.
Yeah. 3
Okay,
versions
I
of
see that one on the character select, and I'm like, that's a good looking Gundam.
yeah. There's 4
Damn,
variants.
thick.
Because you have X1 full cloth, which is a 3K. Then you have X1 custom, which is a
Full
2.5K. Yeah. Then you have X2 and then X3.
I love robots.
Good robots?
Yep.
Good as hell.
And then
Crossbow gun needs to put on the snuggie too.
yeah. And then
Just put on the Stuggy. Beams, don't touch me. Not today, fam.
I'm too comfy.
And then the third one I play is just because my favorite Gundam series is 08 MS Team. So I picked EZ8, which I still am like really pacing myself. Because that one is like, so the 1.5K suits are like really difficult to use and handle in comparison to every other class. So I mostly just practice and mess around, but having the infinite zooms is much my play style in this game, and I really love being able to just shift into it, and it's so much fucking fun. But I know I'm not ready to actually play against other players with it yet, so I'm just experimenting for now.
The EZ8 life is, despite the name, not actually that easy,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
You run around and you shoot the gun, and then you like run out of boost, so you switch to the other gun, and now you run more and shoot that gun, and that's basically the EZ8 life.
Yep.
Yep. It's not easy. You just keep running. Never stop running.
Always be schmoovin'.
Always be schmoovin'. That's because
Always
you will
be
die.
schmoovin'.
Always be schmoovin'.
Because you will die if you stop schmooving.
Don't ever stop. Please, dear God, don't ever stop schmoovin'.
We need a
Yeah, like
need a
also like
shirt.
don't walk anywhere.
Never stop.
Yeah, we need a
schmooving.
shirt
Like,
for
if you're
never
gonna
stop
schmoove,
schmoovin'.
Never
Don't
stop
stop the
schmoozing.
schmoozing.
Please don't stop the schmoozing.
Ah,
I guess I should probably go ahead.
Yeah,
huh?
probably.
yeah.
All right. So, the main suit that I've been playing, because I've been playing Rank Shuffle, which is potentially a mistake. Shuffle, like Rank Shuffle, is a hard life to live because you are really rolling the dice for statistics. But I've been playing the Atlas Gundam from Gundam Thunderbolt, which is a pretty simple suit to play. That's all about the main gun is a railgun, and you just shoot the railgun, and then sometimes you just start strafing to the left or to the right, and you shoot twice, and then you start flipping around, and then you just pull out the machine gun and you flip around some more.
Oh Lord.
You're just constantly strafing, shooting, and schmooving.
Atlas is definitely the schmoovement suit.
Yep. I started off with this in the beginning, but it's not ready for competitive play yet. Need a lot more like tactical understanding, I guess, of the suit. But I've been playing Strike Noir, which is like the John Woo Gundam.
The John Woo
Oh my
Gundam.
God.
because it's this Gundam that has 2 pistols.
Okay.
And you know what he also does? Flip tricks.
Oh,
my
shit.
He's constantly like, yo, let me Max Payne just like flip around just shooting 2 pistols. Sorry, this is an online game, so there's no time slowdown shit going
The
on.
doves fly out when
We
you
just
do
like
cool
flip
shit.
around shooting pistols.
So it's like Gundams.
He's got another thing where he like has pulls out a wire, jumps, and keeps shooting his pistols.
Jesus Christ.
Sadly, as it turns out, the gun flipping isn't like as good as you think it'd be. It's good in a very specific way, but like you have to understand like in what ways you're supposed to use it, because that suit, as it turns out, is also like top tier of its cost.
Oh,
Huh.
yeah.
But like I want to use it more, but I have to like understand it more before I pull it out in the jungles of Rank Shuffle.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
At the moment, if I'm fronting, I play a suit called Age FX, which is like, it's a pretty like all around suit, I guess. It can throw out like bits, which are just like these like pieces of metal that just like flies to the enemy and then kind of like activates on their own. In this case, they literally just like fly out to someone, hangs out a second, stares them in the eye, and then stabs them.
Oh, shit. That's fucked up.
Has the ability to call out a friend to shoot a fat beam or to run at them. Also has like a different thing where getting like call a different friend to protect them or to fly them around.
Damn.
But then when it gets really hurt or you activate the burst, puts on the jorts. Becomes bright blue.
Yo.
And then kind of like gets really angry and charges at people. And another thing that it does is that it essentially has spiral swords. Well, at least the armor aspect of like spiral swords, so it's just like put on the swords, charge at them, I've got armor, good luck hitting me.
God damn.
So very angry when it's hurt. But like gets around and does things in a general aspect.
Alright.
Those are like kind of the suits I've been playing recently.
Nice.
I haven't been. I've been playing. I do 2 things. I will either 1 select Goof Custom because Goof Custom is my favorite mobile suit, or 2 I will have my girlfriend sitting next to me and I'll say, "Hey, which one of these looks cool? Who should I play?" And that's really been it. And we will scroll through the character select for like 10 minutes. She's like, "This one looks cool." I'm like, "All right, doing it." This is the one.
That's how I ended up learning Kshatriya this week. I was watching Gundam Unicorn with my partner. And she was like, Kshatriya is really cool. And I was like, Kshatriya is really cool. And now I'm setting up fences.
Hell yeah. So,
Fun time.
It is a fun time until Strike Noir goes over your fences and you're like, oh, please stop John Woo Gundam. Hey, please hit the fence.
please stop backflipping. Please stop playing Guns the Duel. This is not that game.
You were
Oh
clipping
man,
out
I
of
can't
bounds.
believe we got the case style.
Yeah. That's the real Fua step, is doing K-Styles, doing Butterfly. Oh, shit. So this kind of actually leads into my next question, and I don't know how much time left we really have, but this is kind of my biggest hang up as a new player. There are so many suits to choose from. Now obviously we've already talked about, hey, RX-78 is probably not a bad place to start, but like how am I supposed to be able to tell like what suit is good for what? Like what's the play style that's normally going to be attached to them? Or I guess it's very overwhelming. And outside of this is my favorite mobile suit from this series, so I want to play them. How do I know where the hell to go?
There's a very good wiki. I think it's is it ggez.com?
ggz.space.
.space. All right. Which
Yep.
is extremely good in terms of like fleshing out movesets and like what characters do. And sometimes it's really intuitive, like when you see Epion and it has no ranged weapons and you know you're supposed to go in,
Yeah.
and that's what it does. Or Gunner Zaku, where Gunner is in the name, and it's like I'm supposed to be kind of shoot the gun, and like I should not be fighting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of suits kind of fall into like they have a diversity of tools. You know, I mentioned Gaia Gundam, where like if I'm in the robot, I'm kind of like calling my assist squad and shooting the gun. But if I'm in dog mode, like that's go time. I'm schmoving. I'm looking to like hit people, and yeah, it's kind of like you play around. And there's a lot of flexibility in the game. So there's the burst system. With there are 3 kinds of bursts. I don't know if we have time to go into them, but there's extend burst, which is the stop sign, please don't kill me. There's fighting burst, which is it is time, I will never stop going in. And shooting burst, which is I am going to shoot all of the guns right now. And you know, a lot of suits have multiple uses, or you can kind of pick and tailor based on your fighting style or what you want to approach. Do you want to go in and never stop? It's like fighting burst will make your melee attacks approach people faster. Do you want to just sit back and shoot the gun? If you have shooting burst, not only do you regenerate all your ammo, and then after you, as you spend it, regenerate it faster, you can also chain any ranged weapon into a ranged weapon, including itself. So you can just keep shooting.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's great.
fucked up.
I
So,
love
like,
shooting bursts.
You just like that beam rifle you have, that all-arounder unit beam rifle is now a very scary ranged weapon. So like you can, there's a lot of flexibility to kind of, and that's a cool thing where it's like, and especially in 1v1, but also in terms of how you work with teammates, there's a lot of room to like figure out expression and like how you want to approach the game. You got like 180 suits, you got 3 bursts to choose from. There's a lot of room to find a way like, how do I want to approach this game right now?
Yeah.
Another aspect to that is like cost mathematics too.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like the TLDR to that is because we do not have time to go into cost mathematics. I'm not a professor in cost mathematics, but
I actually am.
basically it's like, oh damn, here we go. But basically, like depending on who your partner is, like with like what you're playing, what your partner's playing, you look at like cost composition, and then you have to decide from there based on like what they can do, what you can do, and then you have sometimes like you might not be the best for like fronting or whatever, but given what they do, you just kind of have to go for it. It's like kind of goes back to flexibility because like some suits just can, they're like more specifically on one side of the fence, but they can roam to the other side if they have to. There's like even in match, sometimes you're like flipping rolls back and forth. Like the game is like hugely about adjusting on the fly, constantly, forever, and ever. Like as far as like what suit you should try, just as someone was just kind of like experiment, find out what feels like kind of good, try it out for a bit. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, go back to the drawing board. Because, again, there's like 100+ suits. There's probably something in there.
There's a lot of dang suits. I don't know if there's more with like DLC, but even like base game, there's so many suits.
Yeah. You can get lost in the suits.
You can get lost in the suits real easy.
Yep.
I would recommend trying to find like a guide that just straight up says like here are good beginner suits, because with 180 suits and I have to figure out which suit do I want to play, if I want to play a 2K suit or a 3K suit or 2.5, this and that. I found a list somewhere online. I know Brett has a site made through Google that's just like a little like how to play N-Bond primer, and there's a nice we can throw that in the show notes, but just like a little here's who to play, and then you just go on ggeasy.space and look up that suit, and it gives you some cancel routes, tells you a description of what all the buttons do, what kind of damage you're looking at, or what kind of like down values. It seems like it was really, really stupid difficult to learn how to play this game back in the day. And it probably still is because of the kind of big brain, trigonometry, geometry kind of shit you got to do to learn this game a little bit. But right now, it's also never been easier, too, in a way.
Yep. This, honestly, like, there's like a huge guide written by the Extreme Evolution Discord.
Yeah. That's a super good guide.
We'll have to link that in the show notes too. It's huge. It has a lot of information. Like, if I had that when I was starting off, it would have been so nice. The thing about the game is that, like, because it is a 2v2 aspect, there's a lot of things that are just kind of like abstract. The game does not tell you a lot of things about why it works the way it does. And sometimes like someone would just have to tell you that it's a thing that exists because they happen to figure out on their own. It's like this guide that like I mentioned before, very useful if you want to like get kind of like a quick start about like what some of the system mechanics are and a lot of like sort of like the basic meta of the game.
Yeah, so obviously, the resources are out there. We're kind of coming out of, I don't want to say the dark ages, we're coming to, an age where the information is out there. There are resources. Like we've been saying, though, we're going to make sure we get some of that stuff put into the show notes. But I think this about puts a wrap on episode 18, unless there's anything else that y'all want to talk about right now, or any last comments you want to get in. No, everyone's done.
Watch more Gundam.
Watch more Gundam. Also, Jay, watch
the
Ping
Dog
Pong.
Gundam.
And
Also watch Ping Pong.
The original, like, for right now, I think the original, like, 0079 movies are out for free on YouTube.
Oh, hell yeah, watch those.
Through Gundam Info.
Hell yeah.
So, that's if you want to get started on the beginning of Gundam, that's not a bad way to start.
I might watch it this week.
As I've been told, because I'm secretly a fraud on watching anime.
Anime's bad.
Build Fire is fucking good, though. Gundam Build Fire is amazing.
Build Fighters
Please watch
is real
it.
good. I will second that. Watch Gundam Build Fighters. That show is a real good time. But that's gonna put a nice, fun little bow on episode 18. Thank you so much for listening to our talks about Mbon. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. Jarv, where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me on Twitter at JarvDog. DAWG. Like a dog.
Like a dog.
Like a dog.
Dog.
Like a Jarv dog.
Oh gosh.
Morgan, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitch or Twitter at fog_e. If you want to support my burgeoning VTuber career, I decided on a signature emoji today. It is the fog emoji.
Ooh.
So just like, yeah. Don't know what to do with it, but apparently that's a thing that the high-level VTubers have. So if this whole doctor thing doesn't work out, I've got a backup career lined up.
It's not a bad idea.
Fog emoji.
VTuber.
I'm dropping them in the chat that we don't have. Fog emoji.
Fog emoji.
That can be your little chat,
yeah.
your little chat screen meters like fog emoji.
Yeah, if you're listening to the podcast, but you're listening to it through a speech to text to back to speech program, you'll get a lot of fog emojis right in there.
That will be a very interesting thing to see. Dang.
Lame speech to text, text to speech. It's double ambient hours. Let's go.
Double ambient hours.
Gord, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TKShadow. It's not an O, it's a 0.
Right on. Velius, where can the people find you?
Find me on Twitter at _Velius, and also find me blogging at realbattleonfilm.wordpress.com.
Hell yes. You can find me, Lamo, at twitter.com/LamoSD. Wait. Lamo_SD. I forgot. My brain is blowing up, y'all. The only thing I'm thinking about right now is that Jess was like, yo, when you're done with your podcast, let's go get Taco Bell. And so I got Baja Blast brain right now. All I can think about is Baja Blast. And I gotta stop delaying. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Lamo. It's real simple. That's an easy one to do. And that was episode 18. Thank you again to everybody for being on. Thank you again for listening. Check out YASE.world. Join the Discord. Follow the Twitter. Buy a shirt. It's still summer. Stay inside. Don't go out there. Social distancing and all that. But flex real damn hard from inside. Like stand at the windows wearing one of our YASE shirts. And people be like, damn, in 6 to 8, maybe 10 months, I'm going to have to hit them up and see what's going on. That being said,
and we're thinking the same thing about you.
Exactly.
In 6 to 8, maybe 10 months, we want to see what's up with y'all.
Exactly. So until next time, keep it wavy, and we'll see you then.